goodness. Another leadoff home run for Alfonso Soriano. 3 of them now this year. 52 in his career. Ricky Henderson, number 1 with 81. Craig Biggio, 53. 1-0.
500 feet worth of long ball to start the evening. Fastball right down Broadway. Beltai, and Soriano kills it. Wow.
So goes right back to work. That one lifted in the seats off the bat of Ryan Theriot. 6th home run, 10th RBI, and that slugging percentage will now go over 600 on the season. And they need him. We told you the names they are without. They need him. And there's something about him, Mark Grace, though he has that kind of power. As that one popped up right. Justin Upton tracking, feeling things out. Can't hold on as he gets close to the stands. It bounces a row deep. Quickly the defense for the Diamondbacks. Outfield of Burns, Young, and Upton. Infield of Reynolds, Ojeda, and then Roberts at second. Felipe with a day off. Jackson and Snyder take you on around. Snyder, of course, catches Dan Herron. Justin got a little bit jelly leg and alligator armed as he got closer to that wall, I think.
He didn't feel like going into the stands. See if Herron can get him anyway.
That one misses down and away. To finish the thought on Soriano, though he has that kind of power and he could hit 3 or 4, he wants to hit leadoff.
That's where he's comfortable. Now, I think if Lou Piniella had his druthers, he'd love to be able to do it. As that's called strike 3, a split finger.
Kind of a funky hanging splitter. He didn't design it that way, but he'll take it.
And you just see, watch Theriot. He's fooled. He thinks it's a high fastball. It dips right down into the top of the strike zone.
By the way, for Herron, that is just the 2nd home run allowed on the season. Doesn't walk anybody and hasn't given up but 2 home runs now. As Fukudome drives it to left field. Eric makes the play for the out. Kosuke didn't have a chance to tell you about his batting average at .371 and his OPS of 1142. White hot to start the year.
He's having, after a miserable second half, Darren, for Fukudome. Well, there was a lot of critics and a lot of people said, no, he doesn't deserve to be the starting right fielder. Well, he's been terrific here in April for the Cubs.
Reed Johnson takes a fastball low. 1-0 the count. Yeah, that's the Fukudome right there. The classic W t-shirt. My grandfather would say W.
W.
Just missed the inside corner. So far, his splits are fluttering a bit. That was a split-fingered fastball there. 2-0 the count. Reed Johnson, the stereotypical, though Lou loves his superstars, Lou Piniella type ball player. A grinder. Bouncing ball this time to short. To another grinder. Augie Ojeda in time for the out. Wow. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona, Alfonso Soriano. the '07 Manager of the Year, our Southwest Airlines for skipper Bob Melvin. Shaking it up a bit, as we mentioned. Chris Young, Augie plays short. We knew that would happen. Connor Jackson, Mark Reynolds, Eric Burns, Justin Upton. Then there's Ryan Roberts at second base. Chris Snyder batting eighth, and Dan Herron. Southwest Airlines brings you the lineup. Ted Lilly, we're certainly bragging on the successes of Dan Herron. Well, we better brag on him as well. He has been fabulous out of the gates.
Tough luck loser's last start gave up one unearned run to the Cincinnati Reds and ended up getting a loss. He is one terrific left-hander.
Strike one to Chris Young, who moves back to the top of the order this evening anyway. With Felipe Lopez, simply put, just give it a night. Bob Melvin called him and let him know. First pitch was a fastball. That one a changeup. Arrowhead, Brown & Brown, and Superstition Springs Chevy dealers key to the game. Slam the glove. A topper on a high changeup. And in time for the out. Mark Grace, you're going to have to explain that key to the game to me, please.
And I'm going to be the first to tell you I have zero idea because you came up with this one.
Well, remember a couple of years ago in the playoffs, we were on radio, and that happened.
Bam!
That happened in the bottom of the second inning. It was a 3-run homer.
I got you.
Frustrate him.
Yeah, but Chris Young he just grounded out.
Well, we have more chances.
Okay.
And anybody's allowed to do it.
I got you.
Okay. Good start.
Okay. Slam the glove.
Good memories, huh?
Wow.
Being able to call those games on radio, what an honor that was. 1-0 the count to Augie Ojeda. Breaks his bat. Shallow left field. Alfonso Soriano is there to make the play for the out. Let's take a look at the Cubs defense. Alfonso Soriano, Reed Johnson, Kosuke Fukudome. Then on the infield, you got the Louisiana boys on the left side, Fontenot and Terrio. Then you have Miles and Hoffbauer. Ted Lilly pitches to the reigning Rookie of the Year, Giovanni Soto. Hoffbauer, just that. Quite a bit of power, and he is off to a fine season. In there against righties only, struggles against lefties. Connor Jackson takes a pitch that is high. Now, Lilly is a guy that you wouldn't categorize as overpowering, correct, with regard to stuff?
No, not overpowering, but he can still get plenty of strikeouts. He pounds the strike zone, changes speeds. He's a good one. Throws a lot of fastballs there. He doesn't overpower you, but he's got a fastball that runs away. He can cut it. And 2-0 doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a fastball. He can pull the string and throw a good changeup as well. Just a smart pitcher.
Connor on that one, lines it back to the backstop. 2-1 the count. You saw the numbers, 207 for Jackson. An on base of just 258 to start the year. Started the year with a 4-game hitting streak, and since then has 7 hits in his last 12 games. It's a 167 clip, but guess what? You're only as good as your last at bat. He ended yesterday's ball game with a walk-off single. This one, fly ball. Center field. 1, 2, 3. Go the Diamondbacks. tomorrow night. Behind the Cubs bullpen as the new Redhead section. It debuts right here on Fox Sports Arizona. A handful of tickets still left. Pick them up. FSN, of course, will bring you all the pictures. Visit dbacks.com/redheads. You just call the Diamondbacks ticket office. And a good-looking shirt. A different one once a month for the Redhead section. It's a great party. Gracie, I'm proud of this one. I think they did a nice job. Of course, they've tweaked the logo a little bit. There you go. And then on the back, all the dates like a tour. There you go.
That's nice.
We'll be out there as that breaking ball is a dandy. 1-1 the count. There's a Redhead. Look forward to seeing him go to work. He'll be in the lineup tomorrow on Redheads. High fly ball right field. Just far enough in. And I can't say it enough. Just far enough in. Because he wanted to crush it, but couldn't get his hands fully extended.
Catcher number 18.
Well, he got the barrel of the bat. This is called just missing one. The barrel of the bat is right there. He just gets underneath it a shade. Pulls his hands in nicely, and he got the barrel of the bat. Golly, that's a frustrating feeling when you hit one right on the button and you just get under the shade.
He can hit.
Yes, he can.
He can hit. And it's mainly, as we mentioned, it's mainly right-handed. You're talking about a guy this year with a slug of 680 when you talk about Hoff power. What a good cut fastball. 1-1 the count. And when you win awards and you bring home the hardware and your name, well, you can't hide anymore. You sometimes get the very best of pitches, and that's what's happened to Soto. Off to just a 128 start.
Ouch.
Last year, about the same amount of time on the calendar. As you can see, a big difference. Topper. Chance for Mark Reynolds to field and fire in time for the out. Always good and certainly dependable on those plays. Keep his feet moving, heading forward, always charges the baseball effectively and throws effectively when he's moving.
Now he's improving every day. Long hours with Matt Williams during spring training, one of the finer fielding third basemen in history.
While he was taking his ground balls today, Matt on the other side of the diamond in uniform, being his first baseman. Catching the throws across the diamond.
It's good to see Matty out there.
And here's Mike Fontenot. Well, a lot of movement, but it's low. 1-0 the count to Fontenot out of Sidell, Louisiana. LSU, just like Terrio. A couple of raging Cajuns in the lineup. Good fastball.
Just reared back and threw one right by him.
An awful lot of hits in that big city in the Midwest by a man that wears number 17. I hope someday maybe that flag will just fly up above the ballpark and no one will wear it. Just a thought. We can move on if you'd like. Just a thought.
Thank you, Darren.
The 2-1. Popped up left side. Another pitch in.
I did that every now and then too.
Yeah. Still can put it up above the ballpark in a flag. We know you popped up every now and again. Reynolds, Burns, and Upton around the corner. was almost asleep the whole game.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks, third baseman number 27, Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds to lead things off. Eric Burns and then Justin Upton as we move on to the bottom half of the second inning. This ball game started with Alfonso Soriano hitting the ball about 450 feet, I'm guessing.
Really far.
Really, really far. And now a couple of guys in this inning that can hit it an awful long way, if not farther. Both have been red hot. And in the middle, Eric Burns, he has been not so bad either. This is Mark Reynolds. This one, dead center, a bit off to the left maybe, but killed.
That's off a Matt Cain fastball, too. And that is a plus fastball, and that is plus power. Love to see three of these D-back guys start to get hot.
That pitch is low, good sink on it. 1-1 the count. Reynolds lays off. Well, Mark in his last 6 games is 8 for 25. That's a .320 batting average. He's got a double, though, and 3 home runs during that time. So here he comes. And you hoped it would only be a matter of time. Line drive, and the beat goes on for the Sheriff. Into the corner it goes, touches first, into second. Soriano really having a hard time getting it back in, but he finally does. So for Reynolds, yet another extra base hit. He has been white hot.
Well, as you said, he got a mistake from Ted Lilly. When you make a mistake to this kid, he hits it hard. Bang! Reaction to Lilly, you can see it. As you said, he didn't slam the glove, but he got very upset with himself.
Oh, no. He never will again. But he got upset. You only have to do it once, and it's a moment that lives forever. But getting him upset, Eric Burns has been doing that of late. Bunts it, hugging the line. Boy, great idea. Move the runner over and maybe reach, and the count 0-1.
Really, the best way to do the bunt right there would be to push it past a left-handed pitcher. Ted Lilly, when he releases the ball, falls off towards the third base line. And it's just a wide open, easy bunt past him for a base hit. But a good effort there from Eric Burns. The other thing you want to make sure you do is when you're bunting, get a strike.
Yeah.
That pitch was up and almost a pitch out.
This is a club still seeking its identity this year and slowing the game down. Not quite doing it as much as they want to. That goes into what you're talking about. They'll get that confidence back as Reynolds is driven back to the bag. A win like yesterday, you hope, will help. Rallying from down 3 in the 9th. And tying the ball game on a home run of the likes I've never seen. Overall, 200, 288 on base percentage for Eric. Last 5 games, much better. They're really trying to keep Mark close. Aaron Miles right by the bag there. And that pitch called a strike.
Good pitch.
0-2.
Burns doesn't like it. Home plate umpire Rob Drake thought it was good enough, and I think he might be right. That was a heck of a pitch. Now you're battling. Yeah, you'd love to hit a ground ball to the right side and move the runner over. But with 2 strikes, now you're battling.
Productive out. That's what the Diamondbacks have been battling and falling short on this year. And they're looking for one right now. And he looks him back to the bag, so he'll have a chance for that productive out in a moment.
After this pitch, I'll give you a
little research,
little research on productive outs and just exactly what is a productive out, they might be asking at home.
I know I'm asking.
I know our friend Ollie Simpson, he doesn't know much about baseball. He's probably asking, what is a productive out?
Breaking ball is in.
All right, here's a productive out. Here's a successful sacrifice for a pitcher with nobody out or 1 out. That's a productive out. Advancing any runner anywhere with nobody out. That's a productive out. Driving in a base runner with the 2nd out of the inning. For instance, a grounder to short with 1 out and a guy on third, he scores, or a sac fly. That's a productive out.
Good stuff.
Whoa. And anything, a failure to do so would obviously, by not advancing the runner, you fail. The Diamondbacks, unfortunately, have the second worst percentage in the National League. 22% of their outs have been productive outs. Only the Washington Nationals are worse, and they're at 1 percentage points less at 21.
Well, a good take there. So just trying to, and that's great stuff, Gracie, just trying to grow the little ball. If I'm going to use simple sitting on my couch terms with my buddies, grow the little ball aspect of your game. Just working on that part of it. Is that fair enough, what I say?
That's exactly right.
Good definitions, my friend. Thank you. Now, runs via the home run, nearly 50%, second in Major League Baseball.
There you go. So you got to find a way to score some runs when they're not slugging homers.
High pop, left field. This would fall on the negative side of what you're talking about as Burnsy is erased. And now Justin Upton. Speaking of the homer, again, I've never seen one like this. This low, this hard, get out.
That was productive, and it went out. Well, right there, the definition right there of that Eric Burns result, obviously that was not a productive out. Because Mark Reynolds is still at second base. Now it takes a base hit to score him rather than an out.
Justin, tired of waiting, steps out of the box. Upton, in his last 10 games, he of all the guys getting hot, Reynolds and Burns, Upton, it's been the longest. 10 games, he's got 10 hits, a .303 average with a pair of homers. And during that time, slugging nearly 600. Burns couldn't move him over. Reynolds tries to move over himself, and he does as the ball pops loose. And Reynolds swipes third.
Well, a good throw by Soto. There's the tag, and it just comes out of there. Lose. No, that's the right call by Mark Wegner. You have to come up and show the tag. The ball came out as he was making the tag. Lou's going to come out and say, hey, the tag was there. The ball came out as he was trying to throw it around. And this is the same pairing, Darren, when Lou had a meltdown a couple of years ago. It was on this umpire, Mark Wegner, a friend of our show.
There's no doubt.
And Mark Wegner, a couple of years ago when Lou had his meltdown, Mark Wegner got that call right.
Yes.
At third base in Wrigley Field. It was a famous Donnybrook, for lack of a better. This time Lou's not as heated. And there's the tag, and you see the knee of Mark Reynolds is going to kick this ball right out. Out it comes. Mark Wegner got that call right. You got to come up and show it to the umpire.
Interesting, you saw Rob Drake out there. Why did he walk with Lou, you might wonder, as Lou turns and spins and looks at the diamond. Rob Drake walked with Lou because if he utters any words to his pitcher, that's a visit.
It's a visit to the mound. That's exactly right.
And he didn't. Lou, very deliberate.
How about Mark Reynolds? Showing some guts. You know what? Picking up his teammate.
You bet.
Eric Burns couldn't get him over. You know what? I'll get myself over and give Justin Upton a little easier chance.
Well, he's starting to slow the game down. Feel that swagger as that one is in. 1-1 the count. Interesting to finish the thought on the debate between Wagner and Piniella. A very friendly debate. Wagner, friend of show, and so is Lou Piniella.
Absolutely.
It was just a bad day for one on that day.
No, you know what? Lou was frustrated at the time, and he was probably going to come out no matter what.
The 1-1.
And Mark Wegner understands that. You know, I had heated discussions with umpires for a lot of times, damn it. Like any other part of baseball. Once it's over, it's over.
Right.
The next day, you talk to each other and say, hey, we okay? Yeah, we're fine.
That pitch is high. 3-1 the count to Justin Upton with a runner on third, and the Diamondbacks down 1-0. Upton 3 for 17 in his career against the Cubs without a long ball. And all of these guys, as Ryan Roberts waits, I can point out, but you know it by now, they've all struggled against lefties this year, and Upton's the same way.
Well, let's see if Justin gets a good pitch to hit here. 3-1. Oh, swung at ball 4.
Almost a high cutter. Just some run in with that pitch. And the count 3-2. Let's take a look.
It was almost like he had his mind made up. He was swinging and got to get a strike.
3-2 pitch. Popped it up. Right field. Here we go. Fukudome.
Good arm.
Charging. Make the play. Here comes Reynolds. Throw is intact. A beautiful throw, as Gracie said. The man has a good arm, and he showed it. Kosuke Fukudome. About now, though, a beautiful throw by Kosuke Fukudome. And Lou, who had problems with Wagner, now doesn't have problems anymore. We'll remember at some point this evening the discussion they both had. But now the discussion falls by the wayside because the Diamondbacks don't cash in. That one is popped up. First pitch swinging. Aaron Miles. And it bounds just shy of a souvenir. Now it's a souvenir. When you talk about this pitching matchup over the last 2 seasons, Dan Herron 32 wins, Ted Lilly 31. Herron nearly 440 innings, Lilly over 400. Starts, they're in the top 10 in the major leagues. Quality starts, Herron with 51, Lilly with 41. A lot of fun. Slap the other way. That's a lot of fun as well. From his knees. Mark Reynolds in time. Slowing the game down, playing with that confidence that we have seen him show offensively and now defensively as well.
That's a nice play by the very athletic young man, Mark Reynolds. Well, he made that look easy, didn't he? That's not an easy play, and he really made it look easy.
Ted Lilly 0 for 6 this year, 134 in the major leagues as a hitter. And that average goes up. So Lilly with a single with 1 out. And now Alfonso Soriano v. Dan Herron. The first time they went toe-to-toe, the pitch sequences, well, we graphically show you. Fastball down, Mark Gray. Split was down, and then a fastball middle out of the ballpark. So no curveball. Let's see if he might start him off, Gracie, with the curveball here. First pitch.
Curveball.
Was it a curveball?
That was the curveball.
There you go.
That wasn't. That was a fastball down the middle. And that one went in a bowl of chili up there in Friday's front row.
So we did start him off with a curveball and a dandy. What now is the question? A fastball, and he beat him with it. Fun to watch Dan Herron pitch, isn't it?
Love it. That same fastball that got hit a mile, he threw it again. Here, let's see if he can do it again. Soriano had a good swing at it, but he got under it. That's why I love watching guys like Ted Lilly, guys like Dan Herron. They might not knock your socks off with radar readings, but they use their fastball, and they have zero fear.
And they use their head.
Yeah.
A lot. Ryan Theriot, breaking ball, strike one. 0-1 the count to Theriot. He struck out looking back in the first inning. Born in Baton Rouge and hitting 13 of 17 Cubs games this year. That fastball runs in. 1-1 the count.
Aaron got distracted by something. There was some hollering going on somewhere.
And almost had a
like a timeout sound,
or a step
to it.
off or something like that. It didn't actually occur, but it came from somewhere. It distracted me as well. Can't imagine pitching with that happening.
Remember the boat horn in San Francisco?
Oh, I do. That was Randy. That's a breaking ball. 1-2 the count to Theriot. Chicago 9-8 to start the season. 3 games back of St. Louis at the start of play today, and in 4th place in the National League Central. Arizona 7-11 in 4th place as well, but 5.5 games back of Los Angeles at the start of play today. And Lou Piniella, his troops a bit depleted. His bench maybe too deep if he really wants to protect his injured players. Again, Derek Lee, neck injury. Aramis Ramirez, calf problems. Milton Bradley, he can pinch hit, but he has groin problems. Nice job, Chris Snyder, on a split-fingered fastball. 2-2. See how much he turns to listen to this conversation. There's Aramis Ramirez. Do him a split after that. Ground ball on a fastball. Once again, in time for the out. Single by the pitcher, stranded. in the Valley, Arrowhead, Brown and Brown, and Superstition Springs. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Back of the ball yard, enjoying some cool beverages, one and all. Ryan Roberts gets to start. It's his second start of the year. He got to start 8 days ago against Randy Johnson on a Sunday in San Francisco. Roberts on the year, 2 of 7. And he's in there because he's right-handed and they like the matchup. It's good to see him get the start. Plays the game the right way. That one RBI, a big one, a decisive RBI that won Dan Herron his last game. Coming off the bench. Inside, 2-0 the count to Roberts. And as the bench continues to juggle around, just up from the minor leagues yesterday. Talk about Josh Wilson. He was considered for getting the start today.
Good pitch.
Could have gone Ojeda at second, Wilson at short. Instead, it's Roberts at second with Felipe Lopez getting the day off.
That Wolverine guy scares me.
2-1 the count. High 3-1. I've never understood how guys can get all of 7 at bats on the season, which is, compared to his mates, not much of anything, and be so patient. I know that's their job and that's what they're supposed to do. 3-1. Not patient that time. 3-2 the count, but a pitch he could tell you he wanted to drive.
Oh, he got a fastball right down the middle at 87 miles an hour, just swung right through it.
Started at third base in that game against Johnson. Saw a little bit of big league time in 06 and 07 with Toronto, and then in 08 with Texas. That one rattles around. I'm looking at him, Gracie, with that bat in his hands. A guy that's too tall at Stetch, maybe about 5'10". And I'm seeing that bat thinking, I need to ask him what size bat he uses. That's a big old piece of lumber.
He's down on the end of it as well.
3-2 to right field, pretty well struck. Going back on it, Fukudome, just shy of the track. That big piece of lumber as a fly out to right. Todd Walsh, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good. I want to apologize up front for the nature of our Geico quote of the game, but it is under the umbrella of the theater of the absurd.
Okay.
It is the truth. And I think, Mark Grace, you can probably appreciate this more than anybody, having played in Chicago. This quote is from a gentleman who spoke to an online publication who says, I can't wait to get there. You see his name, and what he's talking about. This is tough. Did you guys hear about the cemetery that was built in Chicago?
There's lots of cemeteries.
Yeah,
there.
well, this is a different one. This is actually modeled after Wrigley Field.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's got the red brick wall, and it's got some seats from Wrigley Field. And there are spots for 288 Cub fans. The man who is the proprietor of this calls them season ticket holders. And here is the Chicago Cubs urn if you'd like to use that. Or whatever you would like.
Well, wait a minute. You get cremated and you go in there?
Yes, that's where you would go.
Okay, and where is this cemetery?
It's in Chicago.
Well,
it's near Morton
city.
Grove. You know where Morton Grove is? It's near Morton Grove.
Grove.
Yep, see? Lending legitimacy to it. Now, the word is, not only have people already signed up for this, there are some people that are still with us that have actually said, hey, this is where I'd like to be to watch, be around Cubs fans. And there are also survivors of fans who are dearly departed who they think might want to change their venue there.
Chris Snyder belts it deep left center field. A change of venue on that baseball and out of here. When you want to get the offense going, when you want to get a hitter going, this guy has done well for Snyder, hitting 0-94 when he stepped in. Bring in Todd Walsh and open up his microphone 1-1.
Yeah.
Just like last year, Pally.
Never changes, Walshy. Every time you come into the booth, long balls. And you can see Ted Lilly not happy at all. No glove slam, but not happy. An angry fastball there. Oh, what a bomb.
I think you should show the urn before every at bat. Just bring up the Cubs.
288 folks can be laid to rest in that Cubby urn, huh?
Well, not in that urn, in the cemetery. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the ashes, but yeah.
Well, Todd, I got a little pull there. You want me to reserve you a spot?
I don't know. I don't know if I can hang out with Cubs fans for the rest of eternity as my final resting place.
1-2 the count.
Cubs Cemetery. I can't wait to get there. Was your quote? Was your Geico quote
Yes,
of the day?
from an 86-year-old gentleman. He's got a lot of life to live.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to really not want to go there?
Well, you know, I guess there's sort of esprit de corps about this place.
I'm in no hurry to
No.
die.
No.
They serve beer there? Oh, wait.
Old style. Probably
asked-
old style.
Probably old style.
I forgot I asked that about every place. Sorry. A strikeout again here.
Those are 32-ounce urns, by the way. You don't have to use ashes in those urns.
And they're not called. And you get old style beer, and they're not called hot dogs. They're called Red Hots.
Red Hots.
Red Hots. Italian beef sandwich dipped in gravy.
Anyways, I just wanted to sprinkle a little Stardust on you here, and
I like it.
if there are Cubs fans out there, there's a package for $4,700. You get a ceremony, I think, a plaque.
$4,700 to go to that cemetery.
Yeah,
Well,
that's for the center field urn.
The curveball bounces in there. 1-0 the count to Young.
And Todd,
Yeah.
before we put this thing to bed, I love it. I'll bet you there is a waiting list
Oh, yeah.
all the way to Milwaukee for that.
He's going to pop up all over the country. You watch.
I think you're right. That waiting list.
Just
That
remember,
pitch,
I
low, 2-0.
apologized. I did apologize.
No
You have nothing to
apologies.
do with
I
apologize
thought it was
for.
great.
It's a
It's
story.
a true
It's
story.
legitimate.
I think it,
It's the Geico quote of the game.
Sure.
I can't wait to get there.
I think that's a legitimate story.
It's a little creepy, but
you missed me, I know, but
A cut fastball grabs the outside corner.
there's a couple guys. They're in line. Oh, Darren.
you know, this whole thing came up because the Cubs won't let you put your ashes at Wrigley Field. There's a ball down the corner there. That's like there's two.
Could be. Could be. It is. You knew Soriano with his athleticism in his arm. Thank you, Todd.
Sure.
Off the end of the bat. And he is thinking two all the way. That's beautiful to see. The speed and just ahead of the tag by Aaron Miles. Good call down there by second base umpire Jeff Kellogg, another friend of the show. Now that we're done talking about dying, but I mean, let's get back just for a second, if we can, Darren, about just how hard Chris Snyder hit that home run. My goodness. That ball was just blasted. That's a long ways out there to center field.
Well, there is some passion behind that stroke, a little bit of anger, I think. Offensively, not where he wants to be to start the year. He started slow last season, 2 for 24, and then he went on a tear and hit 300 with 6 doubles. But Chris with some passionate quotes before today's game as he pulled Scott Bordeaux of the East Valley Tribune. And we're sharing, even if this inning comes to an end. Backing up his teammates, angry a little bit about, I think, the way he thinks his team is maybe being portrayed, but then backing it up. He said, you know what? Quote, we face big league pitching, we face Jake Peavy, we face Carlos Zambrano. I'm tired of hearing people say our offense is struggling. All this stuff. Pointing fingers, what we do is hard. And it ticks me off to hear day in and day out how everybody here is struggling. That's Chris Snyder.
They backed it up.
Runner going to third and Young. Standing up, a stolen base. Pitches a strike, 2-1 the count. 2 stolen bases up third today.
Well, with 2 outs. Just slightly advantageous to steal third. You're A lot of times you're hoping the catcher might come up and make a bad throw and you score.
That's why he ate it. That one is high. Just to finish the thought on Snyder, and I go on. Everybody in here is here for a reason. They're a good baseball player. And when they face another good baseball player, it's a battle. Sometimes we win, sometimes we don't. But it's not like we're trying to strike out. It's not like we're trying to not get a guy in from third and not trying to move the guy over from second. We go out there and we try. We try our hardest. Inside, he's always getting it done. Augie Ojeda with a walk. And that's the family. That's the family version of that quote.
Well, and kudos to him for being upset. And the way to get people to not talk about your struggles, go out there and score some runs.
That's exactly right.
That's how, if you want people to say good things about the offense, man, go out there and score some runs, and everybody will be carrying around the happy face. And boy, that ball he hit, man, that was a statement. That ball was killed.
Well, I tell you, when that throw went over to first, Chris Young, 5 or 6 big crow hops down the third base line.
I'll tell you what, he can get a big lead down there. If you get that slow move, he can almost walk home. I've seen it done. Left-handed pitcher, he's got his back to him. Third baseman Fontenot way back, you can get a big lead, and if you see he's going over to first base, you can just take off.
You saw Connor 500 with runners in scoring position. Enjoys Ted Lilly as well. Ted Lilly, drafted by the Dodgers in '96 in the 23rd round. By the time he emerged in the big leagues, it was with Montreal. He was a Yankee, he was an A, and he was a Blue Jay.
I'm a fan.
And he's been a winner the last half decade.
Chris Young was getting out there. Just that time, Ted Lilly was much quicker with the move. He didn't hang.
Yeah, you see what it's been for Ted Lilly. Look at the hits. He's got an opponent's batting average this year of .209. That includes getting knocked around in his first start against Houston. Oh boy, curveball just missed. That was a fabulous pitch.
He's got all the pitches, and he's got that smooth delivery.
He's 33 now. Where's the time gone? He's from Torrance, California. A guy who's not too big in stature. He's always been a bit of a bulldog.
I'd take him.
1-1 the count. Low. 2-1 the count.
Diamondbacks are putting some good at bats on him, especially in this inning. Obviously, the long home run, but Augie just put a good at bat on him. Chris Young prior to that. Ryan Roberts started the inning with a good at bat. 3-2, battled to 3-2 before making an out. He's had to work very hard. There's been some high stress this inning for Ted Lilly. He's got a guy that's starting to heat up in Connor Jackson to deal with here.
Breaking ball and a take. 3-1 the count.
Not many people can take that pitch, Derek. Watch Connor he does everything but swing at it. Oh, how did you lay off that young man? That is some severe patience.
Justin Upton was 3-1 in the second inning. Wasn't able to do what he wanted to. Ended up flying out softly to right. A throw out of the plate, no sac fly. Let's see what Connor can do here. 3-1 with 2 outs. Breaking ball, ground ball. That one he threw for a strike. And that one is the end of the inning. Chris Snyder before the game was unhappy. Now maybe a little bit happier. Ted Lilly, vice versa. Cam, don't forget, install solar panels on your roof before the summer and the sun get hot. Kosuke Fukudome put a great pass on the baseball in the first inning. So he sees something soft, a breaking ball to start him off. First pitch fastball, and he hit a ball that drove Eric Burns to the track the other way. And he sees two breaking balls in a row to even it up now, 1-1. Last year he started hard as well. He hit 324 out of the gates. I think 371. Oh. Another breaking ball. 3 in a row, 1 and 2. But Gracie, since mid-May to the end of the season last year, hit just 229. He really hit the wall. Four in a row. Curveballs.
Well,
just when he's looking for a fastball, does he throw him another curveball?
Why not?
Fastball, strike 3 inside corner. He missed the spot, I think, but it still was a strike.
Well, Kosuke just got an education from a Cy Young candidate.
Our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
There's our little buddy.
When was the last time the Cubs had 3 consecutive winning seasons?
Oh, dear.
0-1 the count to Reed Johnson.
I can tell you this.
You ever have 3 when you played?
No. So it was pre-Grace. That was a split finger there to Reed Johnson.
A hard one and a good one.
Gorgeous pitch.
Defense plays straight up for Johnson. 1 out after the strikeout of Fukudome. Another split. That one stayed out over the plate a little bit more, and still a ground ball out. Hit hard, but right at Augie Ojeda. 2 outs.
Dan Heron got away with one, and he knows he really pounded his glove after that play was made by Augie Ojeda. This is an 0-2 pitch, and this is just center cut right down the middle. Reed Johnson hit it hard. Augie was right there. Right after the play was made, pounded that glove. He has high expectations of himself, Darren. Well, as he should. Look at that. Stop it.
What a beautiful pitch.
Daniel Heron, stop it.
How about that, huh? One and 1 to count. Fouls that one off power.
That was the cutter, Darren. That one just ran in and ate up Hoffpower. He's got all the weapons, no question. Right now, he's got them all working. That was pretty impressive inning.
A nasty split-fingered fastball. Boy, quickly put away with them. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Mr. Hoffpower. We'll turn your bed down for you.
For the Diamondbacks, third baseman, number 27, Mark Reynolds.
Back to Aflac, 1-1 score. Cubs consecutive winning seasons.
Aflac!
As Mark Reynolds gets ready to lead things off. 3 in a row.
Aflac!
First pitch is high for a ball. 70, 71, and 72. 1-0 the count to Mark. Oh, it's a good question. 2-0.
It's really not. But Cub fans everywhere. There's an old Harry Carey Cub fan Budman t-shirt. Boy, that was big league back then.
3-0 the count. If he knocks it out of here and it hits the Gila River Casino's hit and win sign in this inning, a lucky fan watching on Fox Sports Arizona wins the jackpot tonight of $150,000. Greg Moss, good luck. They're in left center and right center field. Taking all the way, so we'll have a few more shots at it. It's Gila River Casino's hit and win inning. And it's Mark Reynolds again. Starting to dial it in, and when you see Mark start to walk along with Hacken, that's a good thing.
Left fielder, Eric Burns.
Well, all he has to do is put together 4 or 5 good games. Scouting reports trickle out. He gets a ton of respect with his ability.
Well, because he's got as much pop as, and pop meaning power, as anybody in the game, including Albert Pujols, including A-Rod, including all this. He can hit a ball as far or farther than any of those guys. It's just a matter of learning and getting comfortable.
Rushes the fastball home. 1-0 the count. Burns, he flied to left field back in the second inning. In his career against the Cubs, a .276 hitter. But of his 16 hits, 6 doubles and 2 homers against Chicago pitching. Back to the bag easily for Reynolds. Yes, Ted Lilly did start game 2 at Arizona. In the National League Division Series in 2007, there was the glove slam, but overall he just went 3 1/3 and gave up 6 runs in an 8-4 loss. The Diamondbacks then flew to the Midwest and completed the sweep.
Big swing and a miss. That's okay. I don't mind that. He got the pitch he wanted. Burns a good fastball hitter. Got the pitch he wanted. He took a mighty rip at it. Why not?
One and one the count to Eric Burns. Popped that one foul back behind home plate. Eric in his last 5 games has 6 hits, 5 of them extra base hits. And again, how do you explain the 3 for 20 that he's put up against lefties? He usually sends lefties running.
That's for sure. Well, he'll get there. They all will.
Now, you tend to think against left-handers, at least they will balance things out with regard to stats. I know you're a big stats guy.
I am. I mean, they tell the whole story.
That's you don't even.
According to you.
That's exactly right. Good to have you on board.
Love that. Hold is a great stat.
What?
Holds.
There he goes with a huge jump over the top of the changeup. A stolen base. Burns goes down on strikes, but a stolen base for Mark Reynolds.
Monster jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. About a 6-step jump, a breaking ball, and no chance for Soto. You can see they're trying. That's the book. They're going to try to run on Ted Lilly. Wouldn't surprise me if Mark Reynolds tries it again.
Understanding that's the book, there has been the book on other players like this, other opposing pitchers to start the season, and they haven't attacked like this.
I love it.
This is good to see. I totally agree. It's the book. Here's Justin Upton. Bouncing around again. That's strike one. As a matter of fact, with regard to stolen bases for a lefty, Lilly really doesn't do a good job holding runners. In his career, 113 stolen bases allowed coming in. 29 thrown out, just 20% when he's on the mound.
Well, he's got that big, slow, smooth delivery.
Oh, back to the screen, 0-2.
He had a good rip at a fastball and came up empty.
Pitchers can be stubborn as well, Gracie. Power pitchers, closers, or even a lefty like this. They don't want to vary their delivery too much. They don't want to change things up. %'s not tragic. It's just well below average. League average during his career is 28% with pitchers on the mound.
Also, what you have to do when you've got a situation where a pitcher can give up a stolen base, you have to play your second baseman so close to. There's a huge hole through the right side if Upton hits it over there. Nice job by Justin Upton. If he's just going to sit and hold the ball, you can see Ted Lilly really staring down Mark Reynolds, staring down Aaron Miles, the second baseman. That's what you want to do. Get the opposing pitcher thinking about something else besides the batter. So far, so good with Mark Reynolds.
Mark's got 2 stolen bases, and that boy is he feeling his oats out there. Bouncing ball to third, playing it back. Throw in time. No, it's not. Upton beat it out. Fontenot made the play. Hoffpower made the dig, but Justin Upton can fly.
What a lesson for you young players at home. Don't get upset because you hit a 2-hopper to third. Put your head down and dig. Nice play by Hoffpower to come up with it. That is a very good call by Tim Timmons, the first base umpire. He got it right.
Now runners on first and second for Roberts. Fly to right field back in the third inning. With Snyder waiting on deck.
That's a heck of a pitch.
0-1 the count. Reynolds takes a look over at Upton. The two make eye contact, and they all look at Chip Hale. There's nothing to say that they both couldn't take off. Talking a moment ago, Reynolds was really feeling his oats, bouncing around. Good to see that confidence on the base pads. Fly ball right. So Roberts is 0 for 2. Let's see what Chris Snyder can do. A long home run in the third inning. Up and out in the left center field. Into the balcony out there.
He got a cut fastball up and in the middle of the plate. He just mauled it. Oh. Nothing cheap about that one. The wind not blowing out on that one, Darren.
No, sir. Mark Grace, a Cub to start, a D-back at heart.
Some dudes.
Pitches high and away, 1-0 the count. That, well, I don't know if I've told you folks this, but we need more signs at the ballpark.
You know, you haven't said that yet this year.
Tomorrow's the redhead section. Have I told you about that? Call up, ask to sit in the redhead section. Baseball's biggest party. Bring signs, please. Get a free t-shirt, the whole deal. We need you there tomorrow. Snyder, oh boy, what a pitch, 1-1. Caught on the fastball there. And they need to be Esmerling Vasquez signs.
Really?
Yes.
Mark Grace and Esmerling Vasquez.
Yes.
All right. I like it.
The 1-1. Pitch is high, 2-1 the count. There's a young man. Said he wasn't nervous, but he could feel his heart pounding up against his jersey yesterday. I said, well,
Trust
Mr.
me,
Vasquez,
he was nervous.
That's nervous.
Exactly.
He goes, well, I was a little bit then. Yeah, section 108 out there in the Redheads above the bullpen, the visiting Cubs bullpen. Just a few seats left in that section for the Redhead section. 2-2 the count. Couple of runners on. 1-1 the count. Dan Heron waits on deck.
See if they can get a big hit with 2 outs. Been a while.
Score is 1-1 the pitch. Breaking ball and a nice take.
How do you lay off that one? Look at the late snap on this breaking ball. Man, that thing's just gone. It's a heck of a pitch. Runners will be moving on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. A lot of speed out there in Reynolds and Upton.
Cubs pitchers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position have held opposing batters to a 149 clip. 149.
Pretty doggone good.
So you beat those odds. You beat the start anyway. You've done something if you're Chris. Runners are gone. 3-2. Ball 4.
Good at bat by Snyder. And that's a situation where a veteran pitcher like Lilly not going to give in to the 8-hole hitter when you got the pitcher on deck. But what that did was add about 6 more pitches to his pitch count, Darren. He's already up into the 70s with his pitch count here in the 4th inning.
And that's good news into 72 as you take a peek at our Firestone leaderboard. He's had a lot of base runners in this ball game, Ted Lilly. That's usually not the case. Look at that. Walks and hits combined for innings
I
pitched.
love it when we break out whip on the air. It's big league.
For the love of Devo, the pitch. Grounds the ball over his head, and it's a fair ball. 1 run is in. Upton on around. They'll stop Snyder. Here in a stand-up double. And 2 RBIs. 3-1. The last Diamondbacks hit with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Doug Davis. They were 0 for 10 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position since.
Just the high chopper just inside the line and over the head of Fontenot. Start the merry-go-round. There's been some awfully good at-bats put on Ted Lilly in this inning. Reynolds with a walk. How about Upton speeding down the line?
You bet.
That move's kind of large right now, wouldn't you say, Darren?
Absolutely, Gracie.
Snyder with a hard-earned walk. And now, Dan Heron just putting the ball in play and driving in a couple runs. How about the pitchers with runners in scoring position and 2 outs? What's going on?
Well, the pitchers are 2 for the last 2. The position players are 0 for their last 10. Hello? Did I say that?
You just love that, don't you?
No, I actually don't. I actually don't. I love the 2 for 2. 0-1 the count to Chris Young. You know, things go by the wayside. Upton hustling down the line yesterday. Mark Reynolds, he singled to drive in a run, keep the inning alive in the 9th before Upton homered. You know, things like that they're starting to do more and more of. And we'll try not to overlook them, folks.
Little things like that. Yeah, tomorrow it'll show up in the box score that Upton got a hit, but it won't say how he got it. By busting his fanny down the line and beating the throw, it just brings that extra hitter up to bat in this inning.
And at a minimum, we say they cleared the pitcher. Well, the pitcher just about cleared the bases.
There's an old saying in baseball: anybody with a bat in their hand is dangerous, including light-hitting pitchers. Dan Heron's a pretty good hitter for a pitcher.
You bet. Probably the best starting pitcher with regard to hitting. Line drive into the gap in left center field. Both runners will come on around. Young touches first. He's into second. He plates a pair. And the Diamondbacks add on. 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. It's 5-1 Diamondbacks.
4 runs with 2 outs. Dan Herron, and then right back comes Chris Young. Bang! Into left center. That'll score a pair easily, and the Diamondbacks stretching it out here, 5-1. Two doubles tonight for Chris Young. Boy, a little breathing room.
Augie Ojeda.
Oh,
Big hack.
Good rip at that pitch. We talk about Upton with the infield hit. How about the at-bat by Snyder? 6-pitch at-bat, laying off some curveballs. They have really put some good at-bats on Ted Lilly in this inning.
Breaking ball. 1-1 the count to the former Cub, Augie Ojeda. Ojeda, a Cub from 00 to 03, 148 games. As a Chicago Cub, Herron helped himself out. Now he's trying to catch his breath. On his way to third, Young steals it again, standing up, and steals it on Lilly. 2 stolen bases for Chris Young. 2 stolen bases for Mark Reynolds in this game.
Well, why not? If you can steal it standing like that, just do it all day. Now a wild pitch. If he hangs onto a curveball too long and bounces it, he can score.
Augie Ojeda hits a fly ball to center. The Diamondbacks with a huge inning in their ballpark, no matter who visits. Dan Herron plates a pair. Then he was running on around Chris Young. Ride out to our Ride Now Power Sports Pool Cam. You bet it's a fun matchup when these two get to town. Cubs and Diamondbacks. Of course, Chicago spends 6 weeks out here in Mesa. Spring training, Hoboken Park. And folks enjoying themselves as well. They bring a lot of their fans, but they're some great Diamondback fans, and we'll find out about one of those in just a moment. Pitch is away. 1-0 the count to Giovanni Soto. First pitch was a cut fastball away. That is a curveball at the belt, but a strike. 1-1 the count.
Dan Herron had to sprint to second on a double, sprint home on a double. Let's see if there's still plenty in the tank. He's been terrific ever since the first batter of the game.
That's another cut fastball. So 2-1 the count to Soto. Received 31 of 32 first placed votes as the National League Rookie of the Year.
Beautiful pitch right on the outside corner.
2-2 the count. The first rookie in the history of the game from the National League to start behind the plate in the All-Star game last year. Gives that one a G struck right center field course. He has run. Speaking of great fans, Todd Walsh has found maybe one of the best. Todd?
Hey guys, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to bring up one of the most loyal fans in Diamondbacks history. I lost him for a second. His name is Frank Gennario. I'm not even sure what the number is, but if you saw our show, the 10th inning, which debuted yesterday, we went to Frank's house.
It was big league, by the way, Todd.
You saw that?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it. His house is more decked out than most sports museums I've ever been to. But I have something that Frank doesn't even have. So I'm going to present that to him as soon as I find him again.
You got it. No. Always good. We love Frank, but Frank, don't run away. 1-0 the count to Mike Fontenot. When I know I'm getting a gift, Gracie, boom.
Give it to me right now.
Well, I don't move.
Yeah.
The 1-0. That was a good piece. That was a good show. Todd did a nice job, and the folks at Fox Sports Arizona. One and one the count. That pitch is in. They're like Mike Conley and Mike Roth and Mulkey Sanchez.
Yeah. Oh, what a pitch.
2-2.
Backdoor breaking ball. Behind in the count, 2-1. And just drop it right into the outside corner. Just beautifully done by Heron.
2-2. Breaking ball, fly ball, Fontenot is 0 for 2. Pop out to third and a fly out to left. Burnsy's buttons are broken there. Jersey almost popped wide open as he went to make that play.
He's usually got about 4 or 5 of them unbuttoned.
Needs to go a little John Travolta on you, huh?
Well, yeah. Oh, I love it. Bee Gees. Burn, baby, burn.
Or Burns, baby, Burns.
You know, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wait a minute.
Hey!
See? I told you.
Has he got an earpiece or something in there?
Well, I wouldn't debate it. He is a man of the screen. The 0-1. Oh, curveball, 0-2. Oh.
It's been awfully impressive.
Two the count. Oh,
such a good 0-2 pitch. He missed. It was in.
Really?
Yes. Stop it. Former pitcher. Dad was a Hall of Fame pitcher. That ball was in.
Well, that was kind of a neener you gave me there. I liked it. The 1-2 pitch. Split fingered fastball. Snyder doing a nice job on it. Simple thing there, you young kids. Why do you block that up? There's no one on base. Well, if he swings and misses and you don't block it up, he is on base. Got to keep it there, even with no one on.
All gone right.
Just block them all. That's the bottom line.
Every one of them.
2-2. Fastball, fly ball, left center field. Eric Burns. He's got it. Good thing he cinched up that jersey. He was able to run that one down into the gap.
How many is this tonight consecutive for you?
I have it on my little scorecard, game 924.
Basically every game that's ever been played here, regular season, postseason, right?
And postseason, exactly.
A lot of people have commented to me about your collection of artifacts at your house, and some people are coming in here, but there's something you don't have that I wanted to give you. I know you're a big Randy Johnson fan. You have the Randy Johnson cereal and the candy bar that nobody knows about except you and Randy. But I brought you a reasonable facsimile copy of the scorecard that was in the dugout at Turner Field for the perfect game that Randy gave everyone involved in the game. I had Bob Brenly sign it earlier today. He's up in the Cubs broadcast booth. It's not the original. You'll have to get Randy's signatures because I'm never asking for that again. But, Frank, because I love you and you helped us out on the show, I hope you put that up proudly somewhere, okay? From me to you.
It will be displayed. I'll frame it, and I'll have it donated by you. Write your name there. It'll be in my collection.
I mean, your collection. I've never been in anybody's collection. This is great.
Yeah, your name will be in my collection.
This is outstanding. What's been the response, Frank? I mean, I know a lot of people have contacted me, and they want to contact you and give you Diamondbacks memorabilia. What's been the reaction been like?
You know what? I've had a lot of people say they saw the show. They did not know what a fanatic I really was.
You said it.
Yeah, I wasn't use the word nut, but that's okay.
Well, hang on a second, Frank.
Typical Todd.
That's out. Very quickly. I'm sorry, Frank.
Yeah, but they didn't know what kind of fanatic I was until they saw the show, and it's like, wow.
Well, it was a pleasure coming over to your house. Like I said, you should charge admission. Mark Grace invited everybody to go to his house after the World Series. I don't think you should go that far, but, if you'd like to, Frank, I'll give you that opportunity right here.
Maybe we could have a party after the first round of the playoffs this year. That's a good idea. Party at my house.
Thanks, Frank.
Okay, thank you.
Frank Gennario, by the way, guys, if the Diamondbacks were to go to Game 7 of the World Series and have the home field throughout the playoffs, that would be the 1,000th game ever played here, regular season and postseason, and you can bet Frank will have bet in every single one of them. It was a pleasure to hang out with Frank.
Yeah, it was a great show. Thank you, Todd. And we'll be going. Gracie and I are going to his house soon.
Absolutely.
2-0 the count.
Eat his food and drink his Hawaiian punch.
There's your old skipper.
There's my old skipper with his World Series ring on his right hand and his wedding ring on his left. Dialed in his BB.
Gabby Street.
Works with Len Casper on the Cubs telecasts. 2-1 the count. When you're down 5-1, you immediately break out the Gabby Street stories, as you can tell.
Oh, Darren, you're on fire tonight. Nice pitch there from Ted Lilly.
Just getting warmed up for the weekend. 2-2 the count. Mark Grace and folks are starting to text the booth. We gave him a chance to ask questions of mainly you. I may answer an occasional, but people are starting to get interested in it.
Just
wow,
Ted
Lilly didn't like that.
Not pleased with that call.
I don't blame him. What do you think?
I thought it was well, let's see. Oh, that's high. No,
anyway.
That was a strike.
3-2. Over the top with a dive and some cut. Don't forget 74499, keyword PHX, if you want to text the booth. Ed asks you, Mark Grace,
yes,
how would you approach an at-bat with Ted Lilly? How would you approach it?
That's a very good question. And you know what? I've had a couple of at-bats against this left-hander when he was a Yankee. And I am officially 0 for 1 with a walk off of Ted Lilly. So probably the best thing I did against him was not swing. But with him, I would probably look. He throws a lot of fastballs, and he likes to throw to that side of the plate, the third base side of the plate. So I would probably look for something firm, a fastball or something cutting on the outer part of the plate, and be aggressive when you get it. Because he's going to throw strikes for the most part.
Your ability to handle lefties, you would have been in the lineup, but this year only 13 at-bats against left-handed batters. 54 against righties.
That's just the way baseball has gone. I was very lucky early in my career. I had an old school manager. That's ball 4 to Eric Burns. I had an old school manager named Don Zimmer. And he didn't play that platoon stuff. You know what? You're my first baseman until you show me you're not my first baseman. And you're going to play against all of them. So I was very lucky. A lot of players don't get that opportunity anymore. You come up as a guy that, well, you're a platoon guy. You're going to play against these. We got a right-handed hitter that's going to play against the lefties.
There's a guy right there. I'm sure he'd love to be out there tonight. Left-handed hitter Chad Tracy against the left-handed pitcher. But rarely, if ever, will it happen, correct?
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Chad, he's had a rough go against lefties. Hasn't hit him well at all. He's a good hitter, too. It just baffles me how Chad Tracy has struggled so mightily against lefties at the big league level. He hit them all in the minor leagues. And if you ask him, he'll say, well, I need to see him
right
on a consistent basis, and then I'll start hitting them.
Well, and since about the All-Star break of last year, about July the 4th
starting
until
to hit
now,
them better.
Yeah, slugging percentage way up. Some power numbers. But like you say, it's got to be consistent.
Right.
I'm told it's really right about the time we started the redhead section. There to make the play for the out. A walk is stranded. Score. Don't forget, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day. Taco Bell.
We need one more run, Darren. I mean, you and I are chowing down. Hey! A little too late. But thank you.
Well, you shut them right down. Breaking ball and a strike. Joey Gathright. He digs in, and that'll be the end for Ted Lilly. Oh, you surprise me sometimes.
It's very nice of them to offer.
There's a thing called the Veterans Committee, my friend.
Cool.
0-2 the count.
Well, I'll be honest, Darren. There's a lot of guys that should be in there before me.
Kind of you to say. What a fabulous career you had. Wearing both of these uniforms. As that split-fingered fastball to the athletic Gathright bounces in there. And David Patton will go to work for the Cubs. Well, for Lilly, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. ERA jumps to 3.80. Still not too bad. Strike 3, inside corner, Joey Gathright.
Yeah, that was pretty generous there for Dan Herron. But you know what? Dan Herron has conditioned Rob Drake, the home plate umpire. I keep wanting to say Rob Blake, great hockey player. Rob Drake, he's conditioned him. He's around the plate with everything. He's throwing a gem. A lot of times, umpires, if you're throwing well, they'll help you throw well. And if you're struggling, they'll help you struggle because you've conditioned them that way. Does that make sense?
Makes all the sense in the world. So these two go head to head, and we let you read the last matchup. And it was very interesting to watch as that cut fastball is a strike. You see, he hit the fastball down the middle out. Okay?
Yes.
Then the second at bat, the fastball in the middle will slide to left after a curveball, which is the key.
Yeah, he just missed it.
Here's what we're talking about.
First inning, fastball down the middle. Gone. Now, after a curveball, as you said, Darren, here's the same pitch. And he missed it.
That time, another fastball down the middle. 93 miles an hour. He doesn't reach down and get that much very often.
And that's why I really enjoy watching Dan Herron pitch. You know why, Darren? Because this son of a gun just competes. Look at that. That's the same pitch that was hit a mile in the first inning. He's gotten him out with that same pitch twice after. He competes on that pitcher's mound, and that's why I have so much respect for him. Goodness, that's impressive.
Well, he's up 5-1. And he's getting his team back in the dugout. And that's the best part of it. Nice dig by Kojak, as the governor likes to call him.
It's one of the better nicknames.
Well, it is. World premiere, not just a premiere. And Gracie, look at how excited they are.
That's awesome. Oh, Hugh Jackman. Wolverine. Now, Wolverine's a good guy, isn't he? Isn't Wolverine a good guy? He's not like a...
I don't know,
hey,
but
what have you got?
I'm just saying, how can he be good with
What have you got?
Look at this. Huh? Look at that. Oh, don't be afraid to throw a split finger fastball with that, Dan Herron. Huh? Splitter, got him.
Oh, Darren.
David Patton gets a chance to get some work in. Our all-tell call to the bullpen. And Lou Piniella gives the baseball to the young man, a Washington native out of Seattle. And that one runs in from Patton. Last year, A-ball. And made the jump from A-ball, and here he is in the big leagues now.
Good for him.
He was a Rule 5 pick of the Cubs, and they've hung on to him from the Cincinnati Reds organization. The Reds selected him from Colorado in the Rule 5 earlier that day. And the deal was consummated. He was moved, and he's got to stay here all year long. Roberts, base hit left field. 1 for 3.
Now, Ryan Roberts gets in on the action. Gets a fastball in the middle of the plate and just rips it into left field. Darren.
Yes, sir.
You like to eat, so do I. Get tickets now to sit in the all-you-can-eat section at Chase Field. There it is. The all-you-can-eat section is a family-friendly area on the suite level of the ballpark, just below the St. Joe's Sandlot area. You know where that is out there.
Yeah, certainly, certainly.
For just $30, you can get an inside diamond level ticket, plus all your favorite ballpark food. You know what the ballpark food is. Give them an example.
Yeah, like popcorn and hot dogs.
Pepsi
products.
Chips,
all kinds of
Feed
good
the whole
stuff.
family with that stuff. Call 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com/all-you-can-eat. We're there.
Sutton stamp of approval.
There you go. Look at the nachos and a frosty cold one. That is you got to come out to the ballpark. Where can you enjoy hot dogs and more frosty cold ones?
The 0-1 breaking ball. This is away, 1-1 the count. It's a passionate read, Mark Grace.
Well, you know me, Darren. I just ooze passion.
Well, you do. Topper, third baseline. It's a foul ball. Well, we talk a lot about how we work together up here in the booth and all the guys that pitch in. Big D, Dennis Lamb running our audio up here in the booth. Scott Snyder behind us. Kurt Zacher, our statistician, he gets mentioned a lot. Literally looked both of us in the eye today and said, Chris Snyder will have a big night.
He did. That is the honest to goodness truth, Darren.
A man hitting .094 with 1 RBI, Kurt said, will have a big night.
He said it, and boy, first at bat.
All right, that's enough of him. You know what? That's enough. Thank you.
Nice going, Kurt.
Okay, that's enough. It'll be the last time he gets mentioned. The good news is he didn't ask to be mentioned on the air.
No.
Breaking ball, and it misses away. 2-2 the count. We never respond well to people who ask to be mentioned on the air for doing good things.
And nor should we. And we never really respond well to guys that want to make up their own nickname.
Oh, I know where you're going with that. Roberts on the move to throw down. Another stolen base for the Diamondbacks.
Well, that's what Ryan Roberts brings to this ball club, folks, is another athlete. Good jump there on Patton, just head straight down, and in he gets these. Oh, get that. Be careful when you're going head first. The second baseman drops a knee on you. It's a good way to get some fingers broken. And the way to have a second baseman not drop his knee on you is to go in feet first.
3-2. Strike
pitch.
3, outside corner. I feel like I put the Moachichi on Chris by telling that story.
Oh, damn.
Pitcher Dan Harris.
Just a pretty pitch, knee-high outside corner.
Danny Herron doubled in a pair back in the 4th inning. A 4-run 4th inning for the Diamondbacks.
Whoa.
Soto gave him the evil eye there as the shoulder checks to make sure that it's still in its socket.
And Ryan Roberts maybe thinking about going to third. Diamondbacks have brought out the stolen base tonight. It's fun to watch.
Over the outside on the corner, 1-1 the count. Patton Green River Community College up in the great state of Washington. The Diamondbacks get a chance as Soto telling his shortstop, Terrio, get a little bit closer for me. Terrio saying, I'm just fine. That's literally what just went on between the two young ball players. Rather you see a catcher go and tell a middle infielder to move closer. He said, I'll get you. He's easing closer. Now he backs up.
Whoa. A little up, a little in. And right past down here.
The Diamondbacks with 4 stolen bases tonight. One of them a dropped ball at third, so that was a caught stealing and an error. 6 in their previous 18 games, 4 tonight.
I love it.
Well, don't stop now, gentlemen.
I love it. And I think that got under Ted Lilly's skin a little bit. Gave him a lot to think about out there. He ended up making a couple of mistakes.
Same two teams tomorrow, a lot of fun and a chance to take on Carlos Zambrano, the passionate one. Yusmeiro Petit is on the mound, and for Yusmeiro, it's now kind of an opportunity to prove over about 5 or 6 or 7 starts, however many he gets, that he can go more than 5 innings. He's not, with all due respect, he's no longer the stunt man. He
can't be.
He's now a leading man every 5 days. Brandon Webb, up to 6 weeks, will be gone. Big chance for Yusmeiro to grab the bull by the horns tomorrow night. And Heron goes down on strikes.
Center fielder, Chris Young.
The Diamondbacks, talking about stolen bases, 4 or more in a game. They did that in 2007. 3 times. 2008, the answer, of course, is 0. Stolen bases dropped way off. Breaking ball to Dandy for a strike. Didn't do it in 06. Did it in 05, and then all the way back to 02 just once. This has only happened 12 times in the franchise's history. They've done it 4 stolen bases in a game. One ball and 1 strike the count on Chris Young. Well, the Cubs are in for 3. Then the Midwestern flavor of Diamondbacks baseball continues in Milwaukee Thursday through Sunday. They're pounding Pittsburgh 10-5 in the top of the 9th inning. Ground ball to the left side, gobbled up by Fontenot, and in time for the out. Patton restores order a bit. We move along through 6. Arizona by 4. Strikeout, Justin Upton, a hustle single. After a Ryan Roberts flyout, a Chris Snyder walked and a Dan Heron double. 2 would score. Then Chris Young leading at the top of the order. He doubled in a pair. Certainly a big inning, a cool inning. And our Chaz Roberts cool inning, if you will. Heating and air conditioning as Bobby Fischer goes back to work. The chess master. The pitches, they've been backwards. They have been hard to track for us. For certainly the Chicago Cubs, nothing has been the same. And again, he is dealing as he works here in the 7th inning. As that cut fastball dives down and in, 1-1 the count. Now he may make a mistake, and it may get hit. But try to get inside his head and you're a hitter and you're in big trouble. Bouncing ball, knocked down. Nice play. It's the chess match for Dan Herron, and it's something when he works on the mound he absolutely loves to be a part of.
There's pitches that you're setting up. There's pitches that you're not necessarily throwing for strikes, or you're purposely throwing balls or purposely throw a pitch in a certain count to, later in the bat, hopefully you exploit them with a different pitch or with that same pitch. A lot of it is a chess match and a guessing game, and hopefully thinking ahead of the hitter, gives me an advantage.
Well said, huh, Mark Grace?
That's amazing. And you just see him. Everything he just said is just coming right to your TV screen. He's just making it look easy tonight. When you have 3+ pitches, Darren, he's got a good fastball, a good curveball, and a good split, and he's got them all working tonight. When a guy like this has all his pitches working, we saw it with Tim Lincecum recently. He had all his pitches working. He's going to dominate, and he has. Everything for strikes.
That one's over the outside corner for a strike. He has allowed the 1 run. The first batter of the ball game, Alfonso Soriano, homered as that cut fastball runs in. As Dan Herron works, he started with an ERA of 1.38. As he works here, his ERA is 1.39. 2-1 the count. And again, that ERA in the ones. Won't get much better than that, what he has accomplished this year. Johan Santana at .70. Herron, number 2 at 1.38.
It's just been amazing again here this evening. We always talk about his stuff, Darren, but boy, I just love the way he's competed tonight. That's what's going to really stand out for me. Stop it.
It's just a fluttering split-fingered fastball that slowed way down. Pulling the brakes at the plate. They work nicely. Out.
Now it's decidedly D-backs. Brad Steinke, Ken Digger Phelps getting ready for Quest D-backs Live. And the D-backs have struggled this season to give run support to Dan Herron. He went out tonight, made sure he got some on his own.
He did. He helped himself with a big 2-run double. And, of course, he's dealing tonight. Pitch counts down. I look for him to go 9 innings.
Stay with us after the game. We'll have Bob Melvin's post-game press conference. We'll also hear from the guys in the booth. Guys, we'll send it back to you. Let's hope the D-backs can take this one home.
You got it, guys. Certainly looking to add on, no doubt about it. Can't take anything for granted. We will talk immediately after the game. Plus D-backs Live, our post-game show. Augie, not a bad idea. Chip Hale couldn't make the play there, but a good try by Chip.
Well, he's so fundamentally sound, even over at the third base coaching box. They're giving it to him over there. That play's got to be made, son.
He kind of backed off a little bit in the end. I'm expecting a dive at that point. 0-1 the count. Chip's smart enough to know that a dive and an empty play would be played 1,000,000 times everywhere.
Good point.
On every channel, and we'd use the life out of it.
Very well said.
A dive and a catch, that's another thing. Ground ball, base hit, center field. Every hit against the Cubs has got to taste so sweet to Augie Ojeda.
Well, he's a former teammate of mine with the Chicago Cubs. Just a
Jackson.
bullet on the ground, right back up the box. That's Augie's first hit of the evening, and the 8th on the evening for the Diamondbacks.
Here's Connor Jackson, or Action, as he wouldn't mind being called.
Well, you can't give yourself a nickname, can you?
Or CJ.
Well, no.
Oh, how about Jax? How about Kojak, as the governor likes to call him?
Well, it's one of the better nicknames.
Well, it is. We'll go with that.
That's it. Kojak takes strike one. Kojak's got it up to 197 at this point. Kojak drove in the game winner yesterday afternoon here. Kojak wears number 34. Playing first base tonight is Kojak instead of left field.
Matchup thing, right?
Yes.
More righties in the lineup.
Okay, I'm done.
Nobody can pull that ripcord on the chute quicker than my partner. That's it. Let's take it down. We're done.
Huge lead for
Ojeda. Let's see where he's headed. Think about it, Augie. Get on in there. The throw. He is in there with a head first slide.
That's what speed does. It forces the defense into mistakes. And Augie Ojeda, he's not thinking 2. He's thinking 3. Picks up Chip Hale. Chip Hale says, "Get down, son," and he does. And Augie Ojeda, "All right, you sure you want me to come over there? I'm getting older." All right.
I think he wanted to put his head on that bag and lay down for a second.
Take a quick nap. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
Well, he is. Ground ball, boot it, and into left field. Connor Jackson reaches. A run scores on the miscue. It should be the 3rd on the evening. And the Chicago Cubs, some sloppy Chicago baseball this inning.
Lou Pinilla's not going to be happy at all with what he's seeing. Been a few plays tonight that just have not been made. An error leads Ojeda over to third base, and now a swing and a miss there by Fontenot. And another run. And Darren, that's the taco run.
Oh, it is. Look at him dancing. Purchase a large drink tomorrow from 4 to 6 and receive your 3 free tacos. As that one misses away. 1-0 the count. 3 errors in the ball game for Chicago. The 1-0. 1-1 the count. A run on 2 hits and 3 errors for the Cubs. 1 left for the Diamondbacks. 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. 5 left. A lot of baseball left to be played. But runner on the move, the throw down. Connor Jackson stolen a base. Oh my goodness, where has this been? And boy, is it fun to see.
He gets another big jump. Connor, not the fastest guy on the team, but he is a good base stealer. When he goes, he's usually successful. That's number 3 for Kojak, as the governor likes to call him.
Mark Reynolds fouls that and went into the seat. On September the 4th, 2007, in San Diego, these Diamondbacks swiped 5 bags. September the 4th, 2007. The team record is 7. They did it on May 19th at Shea Stadium when they swiped 7 bags. Boy, it's good to see. Like I'm back in '07.
It's awesome.
Mark Reynolds spanks it to right field. But right there to make the play is Fukudome. All kinds of aggressive base running. Sends us on a trip to Jack in the Box. Think outside the box with Jack in the Box. Unusual, you bet. Only 12 times in their franchise history have they stolen 4 or more in a game. They've reached 5 for the first time since September of '07. They're getting after it, Mark Grace.
Yeah, they are, and it's good to see. We just saw a productive out right there, Darren Sutton. When we point out the ones that aren't done, we have to point out the ones that are successful.
You bet.
That was a productive out there. Mark Reynolds smashed that ball. Unfortunately for him, it was right at Fukudome.
It's a great piece of hitting.
It
Let
was.
the ball travel and then drive it to right.
I like Andrew Jones.
Actually not. A real good comparison by you there. Eric Burns takes away. 1-0 the count. Don't you love all our same bits, folks, that we play on you? The Kojak bit. Governor giving the nicknames. Andrew Jones bit.
Letting the ball travel like Andrew Jones.
Can you tell we're enjoying this tonight, folks, like you are?
Well, at least through 7 innings, Darren, I think this would have to go down as by far the best all-around game the Diamondbacks have played this year.
You're right. They pitched this well. I mean, Dan Heron's just got every time out, but as far as aggressiveness on the base pads, timely hitting.
Solid defense. Tremendous base running.
That one gets by. An aggressive base running, stolen bases, productive outs, and you get a run.
There it is. Yeah. These guys have played very well this evening. Bats just fired up. Diamondback fans have had a lot to be proud of tonight. Another mistake.
He likes to see that kind of baseball. Executive Vice President and General Manager Josh Burns. Athleticism on display. Smarts. Aggression. Eric Burns pops it up. Back is Terrio, in is Johnson, and it's Reed Johnson who makes the play for the out. He certainly is happy. He gets some run support down here, and he has done his job. Rick Shue is happy. He's not as much. And his day started on a bit of a sour note, Lou Piniella, when it was confirmed that he wouldn't have Lee, Ramirez, Bradley, Marmol, all of them not on the disabled list on the active roster, but really, to be safe, couldn't use any of them.
Yeah, he was certainly shorthanded. As Upton steps in.
Wounded Bears.
There's some thunder. And Lee and Ramirez, Milton Bradley off to a rough start this year. Marmol. Want to lose best weapons in the bullpen. Gas.
1-2 the count. Right now the backup third baseman is catcher Coy Hill.
Coy Hill. My former teammate here in Arizona.
If they needed a middle infielder, there he is. Alfonso Soriano would come in from left and play in the infield. That's really all he's got with regard to changes that he could make. Hoping to wait as long as he can, trying to keep those guys off the DL. It's got to be tough for a manager, though.
Yeah.
Get to a point where you say, all right, I give. I mean, that's not the story in the ball game tonight, certainly. Breaking ball, waited as long as he could, tried to go the other way. This time the play is made for the out. Dan Heron has been fabulous. He has been efficient. Time for him to clock back in.
Throughout the room, I have bobbleheads up. Probably got 300 or 400 of them. I actually got the idea from Esteban Loaiza, who's a pitcher. He's been with a couple organizations, but he did this in his office, and I thought it looked really cool. And I'm not a huge collector, so I thought it was something easy to collect. And I mean, look what it's come to. Now I've gone kind of over the top.
That's a lot of bobbleheads.
That is a lot of bobbleheads.
Oh, Darren.
In my own words, debuts made first Todd Walsh. What a great show it looks like.
Yeah, just a little taste of what Darren has to offer. Thought we'd show that tonight in comparison to our superfan Frank Gennaro and his collection. But I said this before, Darren. I think I've said it to you in private as well. I still think Dan, one of the most thoughtful athletes I've ever had a chance to spend an extended period of time with in an interview situation. Mark Grace, by the way, you're included in that blanket statement. Very thoughtful sit down as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed that with you, Todd.
That was a good time. You spoke your mind, and I was hoping you would.
Yeah, I've been known to do that.
Really?
Sometimes it's a really good thing, and, well, other times.
But,
yeah.
But, was your family happy when they saw the show?
Very.
There you go.
Good evening, Mr. Soto. Fastball over the outside corner, strike 3. Pitch number 81. This is so far this season. You bet let's get him some runs. He got some tonight. How about that run support, Mark Grace, down there at the bottom?
Wow. That's, well, you know what? And good for him for not getting frustrated. Good for him for not pointing fingers at the offense or any of that.
That's not his style.
Well, because he's classy. He's a pro.
Exactly right.
He understands. There's going to be times when he gets hit around hard, and there's not going to be anybody pointing fingers at him.
He's got a couple of, you know what he does?
He gets it.
He gets it. He's got a couple of 7-5 wins coming his way at some point this season.
Yeah, and he'll get them.
First pitch strikes, number 1 in Major League Baseball in first pitch strike percentage, about 75% for Dan Herron, and doing it again tonight. Wow. A curveball, he drops it in there. 12 of 24 batters are half the batters, as you see Jeff Samardzija, Notre Dame product, warming in the bullpen. 12 of 24 batters have seen 3 pitches or less tonight. That one is fouled back. That's efficient. He was so frustrated, Dan Herron was, in San Francisco. 79 pitches. His club was being shut out. He had given up just 1 run and was removed from the game. We could see him slam the bat down. He took a trip down the stairs. Bouncing ball, foul ball. Came right back up the stairs within a matter of seconds to support his teammate, Tony Clark, as he hit for him. And,
well, that's just part of pitching in the National League.
Well, but he was angry, and I guess what I was going to say to you, Grayson, you and I talked about the next day over the telephone, that some folks said, oh, well, you think his teammates were upset by that? And I thought, are you kidding me?
No.
They respected that.
And and also teammates know, and if you ask somebody like Matt Williams that's around us a lot, teammates know when it's real, and teammates know when it's phony. And there was nothing phony about him showing some emotion right there. Nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of things that go into being an ace of the staff. And being genuine and hardworking is a part of it as well. Being a good teammate's a part of it. Pitch in.
Oh, he is just eating up Fontenot with some fastballs in. Trying to speed him up, Darren, is what he's trying to do. He's trying to speed him up with the fastball in, and I think he's going to try right. I think he's got him sped up to the point now that he may try to drop the split finger. Let's see. Split finger has been his 3rd pitch tonight. He hasn't really needed it. He's just used a lot of fastballs.
Tried to go up with the fastball there. Two and two the count. Most pitches he's thrown to a batter tonight is 8. 2-2. It's a breaking ball and it's fouled off. He's putting a nice bat on him, like Fontenot is, but then again, he's wearing number 17. Fontenot continues from 8 to 9 to 10, and pitch number 11 about to come home. He has put the best at bat on him of the night. 2-2. Ian, 3-2. So is that still 8 pitches? Are we still stuck at 8 there?
That's 8. About to throw his 8th.
11 pitches in this at bat by Fontenot. Speak slowly, Kurt Zacher. You know me. You got to really take your time with me. 3-2. That one's belted. And gone. A 12-pitch at bat. The best at bat of the night.
And it just got a lot better.
Yeah, you bet. Second home run of the year.
Clipped him a 3-2 breaking ball. It just kind of stayed up. And Fontenot just smashed it. Obviously, this is not where he wanted it. Up in the zone around belt high. Trust me, that's where it was.
Aaron Miles with Milton Bradley on deck.
Right back to the outside corner goes Aaron. Now the inside corner.
Tough start for that man. We'll talk about it in a moment when he hits. Not able to play out in the field and start with a groin injury. Breaking ball and it's fouled off. Trying to have his team fight and get back in this game. Skipper Lou Piniella. That'll do it.
Can't believe he threw him a fastball. Caught him looking for something off speed and got frozen. And this is just center cut. Perfect pitch.
Number 21, Milton Bradley.
No, that's not center cut. That's right on the inside corner. That's a thing of beauty.
Milton Bradley to start the season. Injuries have been a problem. Suspension for bumping an umpire. He's 1 for 23 out of the gates. Breaking ball, strike one to Milton. What a year he had a season ago at Texas. He hit .321, homered 22 times and had 77 batted in. Also walked 80 times last year. Breaking ball, strike two. Look at Dan Herron. After the home run, didn't buckle a bit. Pitch number 100 on 0-2. Good evening, Milton Bradley. And Dan Herron, what an effort tonight. The crowd rises out of their seats behind the D-backs dugout. 3 pitches. to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. And by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Our Nova Home Loans in-game box score. A lot of fun had by all. Dan Herron helping out Chris Snyder. Strong comments before the game. Backing him up with a fabulous night as well. Connor Jackson scoring a run. Everyone doing their best to pitch in.
Pretty much everybody has played well tonight. Obviously, Dan Herron's the star of the show. But just an all-around rock-solid game by these Diamondbacks.
Jeff Samardzija with an electric arm. 1-1 the count. Those to work out of the bullpen.
A lot of guys think he'd be better off with the Chicago Bears. They need some help at wideout. He was a fabulous wide receiver at Notre Dame. He's doing a pretty good job for the Cubs in the bullpen as well.
School record 179 receptions for that storied program. More than 2,500 receiving yards and 27 receiving touchdowns at Notre Dame. That's what he does a lot. It's hard and it's heavy, isn't it? Alltel call to the pen. There's one chance to work for Samardzija. Last year with the Cubs in 27 appearances had an ERA of 2.28. Breaking ball sweeps outside. 3-2 the count. Barry Zito holding the Dodgers down 3-0 the score in San Francisco, top of the 7th. Something tells me the Giants fans are enjoying that. Oh, just 3-2. Just changed scores. Zito just gave up, looked like a 2-run shot.
That would have been to Casey Blake.
Good spot, Mark Grace. Miller Lite, what's brewing as we take a look ahead? Carlos Zambrano against Yusmeiro Petit. And then day baseball on Wednesday. Ryan Dempster. What a year he had last year against Doug Davis, who has pitched well this season overall. So Casey Blake puts the Dodgers right back into it. 3-2 San Francisco on top.
That's a pretty powerful lineup the Dodgers run out there day in and day out. Chris Snyder has had himself a heck of a ball game. And I think if you ask Chris Snyder at the end of the day, Darren Sutton, I think he'll be much more proud of the way he and Dan Herron did their jobs today. More so than the home run.
Meantime, Herron, his battery mate, waits on deck. You can hear a pin drop in the bullpen right now, Gracie. As that one dives low. Dan Herron looks like he will be sprinting to the finish line. Good to see Tom Gordon activated before the game today. Bobby Korecki sent down to the minor leagues. Esmerling Vasquez added yesterday with Slayton sent down. And Chris Snyder draws the walk. Dan Herron will hit.
Well, get 10 D-backs games tickets for just $120. 10! The ticket pack comes with a free gift card. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com.
That was all right.
A few of the knowledgeable people giving Dan Herron his just due. It's only fitting he does that well as well. He's pitched a great ball game. He's driven in 2 runs with a double. And now a successful sacrifice. Very well done.
Executing the fundamentals there like you can do at the Arizona Diamondbacks training centers as they host a free youth baseball and softball clinic from 9 to 11 May 2nd. That's this Saturday at Grand Canyon University. Matt Williams will be there. Greg Swindell will be there. Kids ages 6 to 13, and it's free. No charge there. Call 800-821-7152. dbacks.com/camps over at Grand Canyon. The Canyon Kickoff 2009. We'll see you out there running that great game of baseball.
Yeah, that was very poorly done.
What part? My read?
I think I would have been better.
Listen, pal. 1-1 the count.
94 miles an hour.
You don't have the red correction pen over there. I have it. 1-1. was kind of a man-made read, too. That was 5 paragraphs that our good friend Scott Snyder handed me.
Boy. Gas.
1 and 2 the count. I want to get a shot of Scott for the job he's done. What do you think?
It's nice to get a shot of Scott Snyder in the booth, our stage manager extraordinaire.
One and 2.
Scott struggled this year.
That one misses away. They want to know if he went. He did not. His twin brother Edward is here.
Good to see Eddie.
And he was in the Redheads last year.
Yeah,
boy,
baby.
you folks going to be there tomorrow night. Baseball's best fan section. That's the gas shirt right there.
Yeah, it was.
2-2. Pop foul up over Gracie. Oh, he almost got a good drive.
Almost got that thing.
Instead it's a fan visiting us from Coronado Island. And ended up with that one out in the
San Diego area.
Yeah, you bet. Well, good for them. Making the drive over. Big D-backs fans. 2-2.
Oh, dear.
Oh. 3 more outs to get. That man will look to earn them. Fabulous night for Dan Herron as he goes to work. The right-hander. A game at home against San Francisco last September 16th, his last complete game. He has got 6 in his career, and the man he has battled all night long, Alfonso Soriano. By the way, Dan Herron certainly, as you can see, the last time he went complete. Breaking ball buckles him a bit. For his efforts, Dan Herron, a primetime performer, brought to you by our good friends with Quest. Says, I've got a little bit of work left to do. Wow. Cut fastball is what that was on 2-0. 2-1 the count. That one is pounded foul. His last 4 outs have been strikeouts. He's got 8 overall in the ballgame. Fontenot homered, Soriano homered. That's why it's 7-2. Broken bat out to Roberts. 1 out. In the 8th inning, that's as good as he's been. Even though there was a home run around it, we thought it might be the end. You got Giovanni Soto, fastball, good morning. Aaron Miles, fastball, good evening. And Milton Bradley, fastball, good night. And we'll turn his bed down for him, of course, for the effort.
Well, it's nice of you to do that.
Here's Ryan Theriot. I thought that might have been it. There was a discussion. Brian Price talking over things with Bob Melvin. Right down the middle. The two decided, let's let him go if he wants to go, and here he is.
One out into the ninth inning. And just pumping strike after strike.
Goodness. Cut fastball there. The 0-2 pitch to Theriot. Got him. A split-fingered fastball. Snyder turns it into an out. 1 out away from a victory. Back-to-back victories for the first time this season. As stunning as that is to say.
Right fielder,
We call guys like Dan Herron, Brandon Webb, Jake Peavy, Carlos Zambrano. We call those guys stoppers. You know, they stop streaks, bad streaks, but they're also streak continuers. You win 3-4 in a row and you hand the ball to a guy like Dan Herron, it's going to go to 5.
The 0-1 pitch to Fukudome. 0-2 over the outside corner.
Are you kidding me? Well, the crowd's starting to get behind them now. They're feeling it. They're really appreciating what they're seeing from their right-hander.
Got him. That's the ball game. The first Diamondback complete game in the year 2009 is thrown by the staff ace, Dan Herron, as the Diamondbacks win back-to-back for the first time this season. Gracie, he put quite a sequence on him. An 11-pitch ninth inning.
Now that was just such an impressive